Hey, Vikings faithful, Skol Nation, it's time to rally up and talk about the hottest topic in Minnesota right now. Our quarterback room for 2025. Are we ready for the J.J. McCarthy era? Or is there trouble brewing under center? The Vikings have made some bold moves, and today, we're breaking down every detail of this high-stakes quarterback situation. From McCarthy's rise to Sam Howell's role and whispers of veteran options, let's unpack it all. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's see if our QB crew is Super Bowl ready or a work in progress. So what's the big question on every fan's mind? Can J.J. McCarthy, our 2024 first-round pick, lead the stacked Vikings roster to glory? After missing his entire rookie season with a meniscus injury, the buzz is electric as he's now fully cleared for training camp. But with Sam Howell as his backup and an untested group behind him, are the Vikings gambling too much? Let's dive into the first scene and find out what's cooking at TCO Performance Center. What do you think, Skol fans? Are you hyped for McCarthy, or do you want a veteran in the mix? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get this Vikings conversation roaring. The stage is set at training camp, and all eyes are on J.J. McCarthy. Our number 10 pick from 2024, signed to a $22 million rookie deal, is stepping into the spotlight after a year on the sidelines. Reports from Vikings.com confirm he's fully cleared medically, showing off that cannon arm that clocked 61 miles per hour at the NFL Combine. But here's the kicker. The coaching staff, led by Kevin O'Connell, piled on the playbook this spring, testing McCarthy's ability to handle the pressure. Early reports from camp, like those from the Real Forno Show, say McCarthy's been flashing potential, connecting with stars like Justin Jefferson, who's mentoring him closely. Yet, there's a whisper of doubt. Some analysts, like Colin Cowherd, question if McCarthy has that elite trait to be a franchise QB. His college tape at Michigan showed precision on weighty downs. But the NFL's a different beast. Can he handle the weekly grind? The Vikings believe in him and O'Connell's track record. Think Josh Dobbs stepping in after Kirk Cousins' injury in 2023. Gives us hope. But with no regular season snaps under his belt, the pressure's on. What's your take, fans? Is McCarthy ready to lead? Or do we need more time? Let's keep the Skol vibes going and move to the next piece of this QB puzzle. Now, let's talk about the guy backing up McCarthy. Sam Howell. The Vikings traded a fifth-round pick swap to the Seattle Seahawks to snag him, a move that raised eyebrows across the NFL. Howell, a fourth-year QB, has 20 appearances with a 5-13 record, throwing 22 touchdowns but 23 interceptions. Those stats don't scream reliable backup, and some insiders are questioning if he's the right fit for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Minnesota's banking on Howell as their QB2, an insurance policy for the most critical position on the field. A good backup can save a game, or even a season, but Howell's limited success has fans like us nervous. Posts on X show mixed feelings, with some praising his potential in O'Connell's system, while others wonder why we didn't chase a veteran with more proven chops. Here's the suspense. Judd Zulgad from SKOR North hinted that if Howell struggles in camp, the Vikings might look elsewhere. With training camp kicking off July 26th, Howell's got a few weeks to prove he can handle the heat. Will he rise to the occasion, or are we one bad preseason game away from a QB shakeup? What do you think, Skol Nation? Sound off in the comments. Behind McCarthy and Howell, we've got Kirk Ripen holding down the QB3 spot. This 5-year vet has only played in 10 games, starting 4 with a 2-2 record, and his stat line, 4 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Ripen joined the Vikings last year but hasn't seen regular season action in purple. So why keep him around? The answer lies in O'Connell's system. Ripen's familiarity with the playbook gives him an edge, even if his on-field experience is thin. The Vikings seem to value his role as a steady hand in the QB room, especially with such a young group. At just under 25 years old on average, Minnesota signal callers are among the least tested in the NFL. That's a risky bet for a team that went 14-3 last season with Sam Darnold at the helm. Here's where it gets intriguing. If Ripen falters, could an undrafted rookie steal his spot? Or is he locked in as a low-risk, high-reward depth piece? Fans, what's your gut telling you? Is Ripen a hidden gem? Or should we be looking for more experience? Let's keep digging into this QB drama. Speaking of young talent, let's shine a light on Max Brosmer, the undrafted rookie who's likely headed to the practice squad. This kid's a wild card, coming out of college with a chip on his shoulder. He's got the hustle but lacks the NFL experience. The Vikings see him as a developmental project, someone who could grow under O'Connell's quarterback whisperer magic. Brosmer's presence adds to the youth movement in Minnesota's QB room, but it also highlights the lack of seasoned veterans. With McCarthy, Howell, and Ripen all under 30, and Brosmer fresh out of college, the Vikings are betting big on potential over proven production. Some fans on X are hyped about this young and hungry vibe, but others worry it's a recipe for disaster if injuries strike. What's the big question here? Can Brosmer surprise us and climb the depth chart? Or is he just a practice squad stash for now? Skol fans, let's hear your predictions. Could this rookie be a dark horse in 2025? Keep those comments coming as we dive deeper into the Vikings QB strategy. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: the Vikings' decision to stick with this untested QB group. After a 14-3 season led by Sam Darnold, who's now off to a new team, Minnesota's doubling down on McCarthy and Howell. But the lack of a veteran presence has sparked debate. NFL insiders, per Yardbarker, are wondering if the Vikings have enough under center to match their Super Bowl caliber roster, stacked with stars like Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. The Vikings' faith in McCarthy makes sense. He's a top 10 pick with a bright future. But relying on Howell with his shaky track record feels like a gamble. Some reports, like those from Marca, speculated about a potential reunion with Kirk Cousins, who left for Atlanta in 2024. However, recent updates from Vikings.com and other sources confirm Minnesota's all in on their current QBs, with no trade talks for Cousins on the horizon. Here's the suspense. If Howell or McCarthy stumbles early in camp, will the Vikings pivot to a veteran like Cousins, who'd cost a day 3 pick and part of his $27.5 million salary? Or are we riding with this young crew no matter what? What's your call, Skol Nation? Hit the comments with your thoughts. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Kevin O'Connell's role in all this. Dubbed a quarterback whisperer, O'Connell's shown he can work miracles, like when he got Josh Dobbs up to speed in 2023 after Cousins' ACL injury. His system is tailored to maximize QB potential, and that's why the Vikings are so confident in McCarthy. Posts on X highlight O'Connell's ability to prep young QBs, with fans buzzing about McCarthy's fit in this custom-built offense. O'Connell's not just coaching, he's building a culture. His pre-draft evaluation of McCarthy, including a lunch in Ann Arbor where JJ stayed grounded despite his big man on campus status, sealed the deal for Minnesota. The Vikings believe McCarthy can handle NFL adversity, but the clock's ticking as camp starts July 26th. Here's the hook. Can O'Connell turn this raw talent into a playoff-ready QB by Week 1 against the Chicago Bears? Or will the lack of experience bite us? Skol fans, what's your confidence level in O'Connell's magic? Let's keep the energy high and dive into the next angle. The Vikings QB room isn't just young. It's one of the youngest in the NFL, with an average age of under 25. That's a bold choice for a team coming off a 14-3 season and eyeing a deep playoff run. Compare that to other playoff teams from 2024 like the Chiefs or Lions who leaned on veterans like Patrick Mahomes or Jared Goff. Minnesota's banking on potential over experience, and that's got fans and analysts split. On one hand, youth brings energy and upside. McCarthy's arm strength and Howell's mobility could create fireworks in O'Connell's scheme. On the other, the lack of regular season snaps, 0 for McCarthy, limited for Howell and Ripen, raises red flags. Posts on X show fans hyped for the new era, but worried about growing pains. If McCarthy struggles, can Howell step up without derailing the season? Here's the big question. Is this youth movement a genius move or a risky bet? Skol Nation, are you ready to roll with these young guns? Or do you wish we had a grizzled vet in the mix? Drop your take in the comments as we keep breaking this down. Let's talk about the supporting cast, because this Vikings roster is loaded. Justin Jefferson, ranked the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL by ESPN, is ready to catch bombs from McCarthy. TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, and a beefed-up run game with Aaron Jones give this offense serious firepower. The Athletic notes that the offense's success hinges on McCarthy, but with this talent around him, he's got no excuses. The defense, led by Brian Flores, is also a beast, with players like Josh Metellus and Andrew Van Ginkel ready to dominate. This is a Super Bowl-caliber squad, but the QB position is the X factor. If McCarthy and Howell click, we could be unstoppable. But if they falter, even this stacked roster might not save us. Here's the suspense. Will our QBs elevate this roster to a championship, or will inexperience hold us back? Fans, what's the one player you think McCarthy needs to lean on most? Let's hear it in the comments as we head toward the finish line. As training camp kicks off, the pressure's on Howell to prove he's a reliable QB2. Judd Zulgad's report suggests the Vikings will give him a few weeks, plus some preseason snaps, to show his worth. If he bombs, Minnesota might look for a veteran, but any new QB would need to learn O'Connell's complex offense in record time. That's a tall order, even for a coach as sharp as O'Connell. The Vikings' schedule doesn't make it any easier. They open against the Bears, then face tough tests like the Steelers in Dublin and the Browns in London. McCarthy's debut will be under a microscope, and Howell's readiness could be the difference between a win and a loss. Fans on X are already buzzing about these international games. Will our QBs shine on the global stage? What's your prediction, Skol Nation? Will Howell lock down QB2? Or are we one bad preseason game away from a roster shakeup? Keep the comments coming as we wrap this up. Alright, Vikings fans, we've broken down the QB room from every angle, and it's clear 2025 is a make-or-break year for J.J. McCarthy and this young crew. With a stacked roster, a genius coach in Kevin O'Connell, and a fan base as passionate as ours, the Vikings have everything to play for. But the question remains, can our QBs deliver, or will inexperience cost us? The journey starts now at training camp, and we're all in for the ride. Skol Nation, let's keep the energy high. What's your bold prediction for McCarthy's first season? Will Howell step up, or should we chase a veteran? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more Vikings news and updates. Share this video with your fellow fans, and let's get ready for a wild 2025 season. Skol Vikings!